Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hi, guys, another podcast. Still, the Earth is rotating, and I think we're going to survive for another 7 days until the next podcast. So, what do we have? What was I telling you the previous year for health and wellness and all of that? That we're not going to have an issue. As you can understand, I'm not even going to do introduction. I'm going straight away, being efficient with time. So the previous year I was talking to you about the health and wellness. Previous year, some months ago, I was talking to you about that, and I was telling you that we know from Meta that we're going to have a problem with health and wellness, but we still don't know all the details. We don't know what is going to happen, and all of that. So the 15th of January came, nothing happened. We still have no idea if we're going to have issues. I still haven't seen Bansi to add accounts or asking them for review and stuff. Only one person or two have sent some messages sending me this, and then it was another comment. Let me read it actually. So it says, "Hi Konstantinos, I got a red tag on my pixel in the events manager. Also received an email saying that your business tool is now in a core setup. Could you please tell me what does it mean?" Of course, I'm telling him that it's related to the health and wellness thing. Says, "Yes, it's kind of health and sport things. So is there any suggestions because facing very less traffic now?" So he's already kind of shadow banned, and he has an issue with that. So what is it going to happen? We don't know, because Facebook has created a mystery around that, and we still don't know what's going to happen. I have seen also this, which I'm bringing to you as a print screen to see. One or more websites or apps are in categories with restrictions that start in 31 days. So this one happened on the 15th, so we expect by the 15th of February to start seeing some more action on that. All data sharing will be blocked in other locations. Certain standard events will be blocked, and the data source will be in a core setup, which is kind of the same. If you think the categories haven't been applied appropriately, you can request a review now before any restrictions start. Of course, I would strongly suggest to ask for a review if you have been flagged for no reason. It says about 31 days, so I think that we are going to see things happening in the middle of February, and we will know more about this, but Meta still is not sharing any information, so all we have to do is wait. The same thing that I told you, instead of panicking, doing this or that, just wait and see what Meta is going to do, because sometimes they even do nothing about it, or it's not going to happen or whatever. It looks like something is going to happen, we don't know yet what. Then we have this active error. It says if an error has been detected in the last 3 days, it will appear here, and then it has below review your data sources categories. Review your data source to make sure they're in the right category. If you think they belong in another category, you can ask us to review them. We may use the data source category to determine the type of information you can share through Meta Business Tools. And then you have the review solution and all of that. So these are the things that I have seen. I haven't seen craziness or panic and stuff across accounts or bans or whatever. So we are expecting more news from Meta or something to happen in order to start seeing how we can actually solve it. Before we go to your questions, there is one major thing that I want to talk about, the TikTok ban, and then a little bit about the trend of the period. Let's start with the trend of the period. So the 20th and the 21st of January were not a good days at all. I could see that across accounts, while Saturday was better. Also, the first weekend of January wasn't good across accounts. Now, if you have an account which is exception and stuff, it's a different case, but I'm talking about the general trend. Now, the thing that I'm seeing is that my other campaigns are not so much influenced, but the cost caps and the bid caps are influenced a lot, which is a little bit stressing me out, because I'm trying to do the cost caps and bid cap videos for the course, and I cannot, because right now it's a bad period that I have this problem, guys. So basically right now we're seeing, and it's related also with TikTok, after everybody being afraid that they will lose their spend on the TikTok, they started spending more money on Meta. So all these TikTok immigrants they came to the platform to advertise because they were afraid that they were going to lose their spend and they wouldn't have any other option other than advertising to Meta. What happened is that they got banned for a day, the campaign stopped for a day, but nothing serious happened because the next day they continued and all of that. So there wasn't an issue with that. We can see here that we have the CapCut, for example, here, which is coming from TikTok, that they're saying that has been enacted in the US. Unfortunately, that means you can use CapCut for now. As I said, we are working to restore our service in the US. The same message came to TikTok, and Instagram has announced at the same time that they're working on an app which is like the CapCut, I guess. It draws inspiration from similar app that's currently undergoing a ban in the US. They are meaning the CapCut, and they have the app which is called Edits that they would like to have in order to be able to, combat CapCut. But CapCut and TikTok is back. We have seen this message that says we're excited to let you know that as of today, TikTok will become available for the majority of the EU's users. Over the course of Sunday, as campaigns that include US audiences will resume operating and delivering ads to the US-based users, although live campaigns will have certain limitations. Although we've reinforced our infrastructure to minimize disruptions, we anticipate some temporary service instability and may affect advertising in the US. So, TikTok is back, and all of these things that happened, I believe that it caused some problems because I could see that CPMs were rising and we were having more people advertising. I think that the situation is going to stabilize as we go close to the end of the month, that we're going to have also the Chinese New Year, which means that more people are going to stop advertising. But for sure, there were some problems which we were not expecting in a normal January, because Januaries are considered good months in general. The only thing that I must say is that the normal campaigns are okay, and if you work with average results, in my ad accounts I'm profitable, and with the numbers that I want to have. Of course, I'm not scaling, but I'm profitable. On the other hand, I'm having problem with my cost caps and bid caps, because while I know my numbers, I know my bids and cost caps, that they are working and I'm profitable and I have tested in other accounts. First of all, in new accounts, I cannot explore the new ones because right now they're inflated and they are higher from where they have to be. The other thing is that on my normal accounts, I'm not having spent because the cost caps and the bid caps, the bids that I'm using, while I know that they're profitable on normal periods, on this period they're not ideal for spend because people are bidding more, because there are more people advertising, and for that reason I'm spending less. My philosophy is that I'm not going to chase them to their bids, but I'm going to wait for the situation to be fixed, and then when I see again the other accounts being healthy, then I will try to push again and research more about cost caps and bid caps. In other words, I don't think that it worth my time and effort to try fix the cost caps and bid caps during these bad periods, along with testing other creatives and stuff in that period. In that period, I believe that we should just maintain either lowering the budget or managing average results campaigns and moving one campaign which is bad and so on. Just do that until we have good results. And this is what I'm teaching also inside the course, and I explain it also there with actual ad accounts. So don't follow the bid of the others, because the others are going to be left without money eventually and they're going to leave the platform. And just wait. If you know your bids already and your numbers, just wait for it. It's going to come back. If you don't, explore it when the things get better. For sure, I must say this. Until the previous Sunday, maybe I wasn't so big fan of TikTok, but now I am, and I will tell you why. I always didn't like TikTok because I was losing a lot of time to it. I even don't have for my YouTube channel and all of that promoting videos there, because I think that it's a toxic platform with shit people. There's no reason for me to be there. But I realized something, that if TikTok is not there, there's one less platform that people advertise, and all of these people, they're going to come to Meta. which is not going to be good for me, for my clients, and for everyone advertising on Meta. So I believe that it's always good to be this platform, maybe another platform, because that means that the budget is going to be spread, and that means that the companies are going to do better if it's working. And that means that we're not going to have immense pressure in just one platform that's going to becoming a monopoly, which means that if now they have very bad customer support, what is it going to happen if they're going to be a monopoly? And the second thing is that by having multiple platforms that are actually working, that's better, because that means that we're not having too much pressure in just one platform with very high spends that we all know what they actually mean. That being said, I think that TikTok is a platform that should stay, and I hope that it's going to do well, and I hope that more people will advertise there, because the more platforms we have, the better it is, instead of having just one, which is going to become a monopoly and it's going to treat us in a very bad way as customers. But also it's going to be a platform that's going to become really expensive. That's all. Good stuff with TikTok. I don't know if Elon is going to buy it and stuff. I don't know. We will see what is going to happen with it, but for sure it's going to keep operating. Okay, cool. Let's go to your questions. In other words, I started the podcast by saying that the Earth is still rotating, nothing has happened. So it's like we did a turn around ourselves and we have been to the same place. Nothing has changed. We still wait for the news about TikTok, about what is going to happen, about the health and wellness, about the financial businesses. We're just doing a circle around ourselves, still at the same place. So we don't have any news, and we will see how this is going to unravel in the next months. But for sure right now, everything continues as it was. Now, let's go to your questions. From your experience at 500 daily budget, does a 1% lookalike audience have a better CTR than an advantage plus audience? You can never say that. Why? Because you don't know where the pixel is. So the only way for you to understand that is by testing it. And it has nothing to do with your budget. It has to do completely with the targeting. I do understand that your concept over here is that you want to target broad and compare it with a lookalike if it's going to have lower CPM or higher CPMs. Now, you talk about CTR, but I'm talking about CPM. Why? Because if you have a higher CPM, that means that you're going to target less people. That means that your CTR is going to be higher. But if you have lower, it means that you're going to have lower also CTR, because you're going to target more people. That being said, I don't think that you should look at CTR. Okay, and then you say, yes, I understand that. Let me reframe the question. Do you usually get lower cost per purchase with 1% lookalike versus broad when budget is 500 a day? Again, it really depends. 500 for what? Am I selling something that sells for $2,000? Am I selling something that sells for $30 and I'm going for volume? This question is so... in other words, there is no answer to that. Just test it, man, and see what kind of results you're getting. Next one. I'm seeing numbers here, AOV, CPM, and CPC, which means that most likely I'm not going to answer that, but let me see why I added it. I have another account with over 300k spent and 1,000 of conversions. However, I still haven't been able to make it profitable. Okay, I put in the comment here because I respect the fact that you have spent a lot of money and you're not still profitable, and I didn't want to just, ignore you. I sell a physical product and I'm trying to hit 2.5 ROAS and maintain above 2 ROAS for profits. I will start an ASC campaign, say at 1,000 per day. I can do this because the account is 3 years old and it's trained, and it would get 2 ROAS or above for a day or for a few days, and then the next few days performance goes down, drastically eroding all profits from previous days. Okay. At this point, I pause because I'm losing money, change a few things around, like get new creative and start an ABO campaign instead with winning creative, or test new creative or restart the old ASC campaign and cycle repeats. What I'm doing wrong? You're doing wrong that you're in a denial. You're not accepting the fact that you don't have correct numbers. And the problem here is that you're not accepting that with these numbers, you will never be able to operate in a clean way within Facebook. Leave campaign running up to 10-14 days straight, or run a mix of multiple smaller campaigns, CBO and ASC, like 200-300 per day per campaign, and maintain those. The problem here is that you believe that you can solve this within Facebook. And let me tell you that for 3 years you're trying this and that, it doesn't work. So it's not something that is solvable within Facebook. You need to have better AOV and better numbers, okay? So your CPM is 35. It's not going to improve more, most likely. Cost per click, 1.5 to 2.1. Cost per acquisition, 40 to 90. I need to be 50 or below in order to be profitable, and AOV 115. Start working with these numbers in order to see if you can improve somewhere. Because, for example, if you can improve your AOV to 150, that could be crazy for you, okay? Now, the cost per click, yes, it can be improved a little bit, maybe with creatives, but I wouldn't focus mostly on that. And then you have CPM and cost per acquisition and stuff. Maybe with different targetings, you can decrease CPM to have better results. But all of this means that maybe you need to rethink your numbers, okay? Or maybe you need to have better profit margins as a business, or maybe you don't have a good conversion rate over here and you need to work on making it better. Because at the end of the day, after 300K spent, if you are not getting better results, that means that you have to rethink your whole numbers over here, okay? Again, out of respect for the fact that you're trying so much, I wanted to reply to this, but in general, by just seeing an AOV and the CPM, I cannot tell you if you have a problem with your AOV or it's something else, for example, okay? Or if you have a problem with your conversion rate or whatever. Next one. Next one is a Greek guy. His name is Germanos Papadopoulos. Dude, I strongly suggest you to take a consulting call. I left you a message also in the last comment. You have to understand that by doing 1 million questions in a video, it doesn't mean that you're going to learn. Now, I don't mind answering them, but if you think that you're going to learn like this, I can tell you that you're completely wrong, okay? Take the time to do a consulting call, gather all of your questions and come so that I can answer them. The videos are not there so that I can teach you there with text and you can learn 100% what you need to learn. The videos and the comments are there in order for me to unblock something that you don't understand from the video, okay? If you start with a small client with small budget, let's say 1,000 per month, it means that your campaigns will have very small spending. Okay, and why is this a problem that I have to solve? For example, if you have a small client. If you have a small client which is spending 30 per day, don't run crazy method. Crazy method is a scaling campaign. Don't use crazy method. How do you scale it to reach the point from where we start doing crazy method? You don't, because the client who is spending only 1K per day, even if you scale him, he's not going to acknowledge it, and it's just a lost cause, okay? These are things that they have to do on their own, and then you can come work with them. Scaling with 20% rule on smaller budgets makes no sense, because the 20% rule is coming from the learning phase. Okay, so you need 50 events, and you don't have 50 events if you spend $33 or euros per day. You haven't passed the learning phase in the 50. I don't care about the learning phase anyway, but still, using the 20%, it's stupid. Just increase the budget by the average cost per purchase that you're getting. But here, even the fact that you're having 1,000 per month and you want to use the crazy method, it's crazy, because you don't have to use the crazy method with this budget. Just do a normal campaign, or even a campaign with one ad set, okay? And it also depends on your cost per purchase. If you're getting 5 euros cost per purchase, yes, you can do a crazy method with 5-6 ad sets CBO. When the client wants to slow down due to stock issues like this client, how do you handle it with crazy method? Do you close campaign or decrease the campaign budget, or close the worst ROAS ad set and decreasing the budget accordingly? It depends on the budget. He wants to drop from 3K to 1,000, for example, per month. if he wants to do that, you will close the whole campaign. There is no point of keeping it. And again, it depends on your average cost per purchase and all of that. I don't know if I can answer this efficiently. Most of the time, if there is a stock issue, it means that you will have to close campaigns, sadly. If you get a new client who previously ran Facebook ads with the approach of funnel structure campaigns for tofu, bofu, mofu, with this structure, he has followers with a small spend of 1,500 per month. How do you handle this situation to implement your strategy? I'm not going to implement my strategy. It's simple as that. I'm not going to push my agenda. I'm going to work with whatever is working on the ad account. Why? Because this is my strategy. To adapt in each ad account and work with whatever is working there. If they have cracked the code and they have found what is working for them, I might do something extra on my own, but I'm not going to start closing what they have. Do you close all the campaigns except the conversion rate, risking to disturb the overall account performance, or something else? Something else, which is what I said earlier. Looks 039, the same. You have done over here, I'm having 10-15 questions, which again, it's not a problem to answer. If you want to learn, book a consulting call. Gather all of your questions, let me answer to them by just watching your ad accounts. This is madness. I cannot answer to these questions in the best possible way. The comments are there to unblock someone from the way that they're thinking if they have a problem, something small, not discussing really detailed, complex things about meta ads. Sir, can I use more than 10 ads in an ABO ad set if the campaign budget is like 500 or 1,100 per day? Is high. If it's high, okay. Yes, you can use up to 10 if you want, if you have higher budgets and you have normal cost per purchases. Like if you have a cost per purchase of 10, you can easily use 500 or 400 or 300. I recently gained access to this account and saw it was previously running at 500 per day with 2.5 ROAS at a 40 cost per purchase. However, the previous agency was targeting a broad audience of 1865 and didn't refine the demographics properly. That's your opinion because it was working. So you should not say that they didn't refine it was working. Okay, this doesn't mean that it wasn't working. They also mixed videos and images in the same ad set. The fact that they mixed videos and images doesn't make a campaign unprofitable. It's wrong because the images haven't been tested. Obviously here the videos have been working, so it didn't matter to them. This brand has a variety of products. Would you recommend segmenting ads by AOV or product type? For sure by AOV and by product type, for sure. And also testing publishing at 6 a.m. EST. I see that the spend hasn't spent the whole budget, so I would publish at 12 or 3 a.m. EST. No, I would publish at 6 a.m. because the hour between 12 and 6, it's the worst hours of the e-commerce stores for USA or for other countries if you target other countries. So I'm trying to skip this part of running my ads during these hours and I run them at 6 a.m. Now, technically, if it's wrong to start them at 12 or 3, no, it's not wrong, but I don't prefer it for the reason that I told you. Because also it's going to take some time to populate, so they're going to start around 8 o'clock. The ads are not starting at the second that the campaign is going to go live. It will take some time to populate, start showing to placements and all of that. Appreciated. Do you think that going from little budget to big budget can impact the account? Of course it can impact the account. It can impact everything because that means that you might not be able to scale. You have to watch my daily loop theory videos. The 500 broad ABO budget used to be on a week ago, so from me going back to that budget again wouldn't affect the account. Well, it depends how they scaled it, how it was at that budget. If it happened gradually and then you lower the budget, then it doesn't mean that you can go back to the place that you were. Next question. What determines how ads get spent in an ABO ad set? Like I'm talking about normal spend. If my budget of ad set is 50 and I have 5 ads, one ad would be dominant and leading ad, while the other ones will be left over ads. Maybe one will take some spend to the quality, but the other ones are not spending at all. Is this because of engagement? This is because of the way that it's working. Sometimes it's engagement, sometimes it's sales. So because it got sales, it's becoming more dominant and all of that. So it's a mix of things that can make them spend or not spend. But at the end of the day, that's why we have the system of optimizing, so that you can do the best that you can. Of course, we cannot control where it's going to spend, and we don't want to, because we want the algorithm to do that, but sometimes it's going to do mistakes, so we will intervene with optimization. Is it a good strategy to keep an ABO ad set running while turning off leading ads that are unprofitable? Yeah, we do it all the time. I have videos about optimization that I do kill the leading ad to shuffle the cards again, or because I have a second leading ad which I believe that it can absorb the budget that the leading ad is spending, waiting for the algorithm to select a profitable leading ad, or maybe it has selected already the second one and it's just going to start spending more to it. Have you experienced campaigns where all it took was finding one strong leading ad for the entire campaign to become profitable? All the time, man. All the time I'm trying to find strong leading ads, and when you find them, yes, the campaign is profitable. Konstantinos, I can put it in wording. If two leading ads have similar spend but vastly different results, can I turn off the one, or should I keep it running to maintain spend attribution? It depends on your average results, but let me tell you that the only way that they have different results is because of different AOV, I'm guessing. So if they have different AOV, that means that you should go with the one that has better AOV. Now, define to me, what do you mean by having similar spend, different results? Did they spend a lot? So did they spend 500 and 500? Do they have each one of them 15 sales and 50 sales? Or you're talking about similar spend like a very small spend and each one of them is having 1 or 2 sales? Because this is not enough data for you to decide what you are going to do. But yes, there are cases that you will have to go with both of them because the average result is there, and that means that you have to focus on the average result. Or there are other cases that you will have to close one of them and just focus on the other because it makes more sense for the budget distribution. Guys, that's all. That was the podcast for today, and I hope to see you in the next one. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.